right, listen, every investor says that follow-up is the key, but if most of you are out here sending weak ass texts and begging for deals, the truth, your follow-up doesn't need work because your message sucks. Today, I'm bringing Paul DoCampo, and he is a former flipper turned elite copywriter, the guy behind the follow-up systems for the real estate gurus, mail shops, and developers flipping 100-unit deals. He's not selling theory. He's built value-driven drip sequences that get actual replies, real appointments, and closed deals. If you want to know how to use that copywriting in that way and not leave six figures on the table, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Closers Club. Paul, thank you, man, for joining us today. Let's jump right into it. I see so many investors really just burning leads because their follow-up, it sounds like spam or AI. And, they come across as just begging, right? What's the biggest myth that you see around follow-up that's really keeping investors just broke and not doing the number of deals that they want to do?
Yeah, I would say the biggest myth. So I've secret shopped a lot of investors to see what's going on on the back end there.
Mhm.
I would say one thing that's a myth is probably a lot of people think that they might be following up too much, especially with an initial lead.
Okay.
So like when we have 25 plus different sequences. Our first initial sequences. We hit them pretty hard and aggressive. So
Mhm.
we'll have like it's 7 steps in one day. So a step can have
Mhm.
emails, back-to-back texts, call
Mhm.
tasks, mail as well, one-off direct mail. So because the idea is we just need to get in contact with them as soon as possible. That's the goal. Get in contact, have them click a few things, head over to our website, really pattern interrupt them so they
Okay.
stop shopping around. Because that's if it's a form filled,
Mhm.
we all know they might be shopping around. You're not the only person. So,
Yeah.
I just want to pattern interrupt and stop them in what they're doing.
Nice. Give me an example of what you say or what you mean when you say pattern interrupt. I love that. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's more of a term used like it with ads, really type of video or
Mhm.
picture that really stops them. It's just kind of wows, not wows them, but it just really stops them from scrolling. I'm using in this context to get them to stop them from looking through their phone, looking through their desktop, through their web browser, and and look at our text, our email, etc. So it might be in the subject line. I have something in the subject line that really stops them. So an example. So we might be sending them back-to-back text messages. One is an intro.
Mhm.
Another text message might be, "Hey, click on our check out how to sell your house fast" article type of thing, or
Mhm.
send them over to another article. Anything that really catches their interest to move them along into our pipeline.
Yeah. So copywriting is important. Like I don't know that most investors or wholesalers even put any thought into that, right? They just think, "Are you ready to sell your house yet?" They just think that's their follow-up game. Um, but that's not what you guys do or what you help clients with.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, that might be. So that's a direct question. So
Yeah.
hey, are you still that is sales versus marketing, and
Mhm.
a lot of investors put on their sales hat. Sales and marketing are it's the same coin but different sides. So
Mhm.
we operate under the same principles, but
Mhm.
it's just done different ways. So what I see a lot is that direct question over and over again. So when somebody tries to match my aggressiveness by having 2, 3, 4 texts in one day, followed by some emails, it's typically asking for a handout. Hey, are you still interested in selling? Hey, can I get you an offer, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm trying to because this has happened. Quick story. This has happened to me as well. I was just shopping for life insurance recently, filled
Mhm.
out a few forms, and I'm getting bombarded with, hey, we want to get you your
Mhm.
quote, et cetera, et cetera. I put that aside. I'm like, I gotta, I move on to other things. There's nothing
Mhm.
valuable there for me to look at now. I'm just gonna put it aside. Well,
Mm.
sellers do the same thing. I want to hand them value first.
Okay.
Value could be, here's 5 rehab items to get the most bang for your buck.
Love it.
Here's a little bit about us. Trying to build credibility, trying to build the brand,
Mhm.
etc. Here's what other sellers are saying about us. Here are some scams going on in the market, things like that. So consumer report type of thing. So I'm trying to front load more reasons for them to engage with us rather than just asking a question. It's okay to ask questions. I might ask questions a different way. I might say, "Hey, did you get our email about some common scams going on in the local?"
Mhm.
So
I love that. So providing value, we always want to do that. We always want to lead with value. That's what separates us from all the other banana heads that are out there just throwing shit against the wall. But I love what you're doing there, and I've talked about this before. In that value that you're providing, like, hey, here's 5 great things that you can do in your house to, get more money for it, right? And in reality, what we're telling them is, hey, this is why my cash offer is going to be where it's at, or you can go do some of these things, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, yes. So yeah, that's marketing and sales, the big difference. So
Mhm.
yeah, we have about 25 different sequences, all objection based type of sequences.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's kind of the gist of how we do it. The difference there. Lots of articles, lots of emails, story
Mhm.
based emails, things like that.
All right. So again, you work with some of the biggest, real estate marketers and mail houses. What is one pattern that you've seen that can like really just instantly boost kind of the response in any campaign? And I guess maybe we can break that down for between texting and email, or do you guys kind of consider those kind of the same or the kind of where they go hand in hand?
Okay, so for text message, I'll just say like what's our formula that we use for
Mhm.
text message
Yeah.
that gets the most response. There's different. Like, we have different. I have different style or different types, I should say, different types. But one of the types I call like benefit laden, which is one thing that an investor can do today is start thinking about what are the benefits that we actually have in our cash offer. Because repeating the word cash offer over and over again doesn't really mean anything to somebody.
Mhm.
Somebody who's going to do a deal with an investor who's going to sell a house at a discount is not
Yeah.
doing it because of price, yeah, typically,
Mm.
right? So there's other things that are motivating them to do the transaction with you.
Mhm.
So so at least do like when you have a text and you're going to be asking about, hey, booking an appointment or whatever it is, list off one thing that is a benefit to them. So hey, just letting you know with their offer you can leave all your unwanted things behind. Hey, just letting you know that we can buy with tenants in the house, whatever it is. There's a huge number of like benefits,
Yeah.
right? I don't have to explain benefits, right? I don't have to go into the whole,
Mm.
so that's benefits versus features.
Yeah. No, but I think what you touched on there is really important that I mean, I think I know, and most wholesalers you would think they know, but the cash offer, those words, cash offer, does not mean anything to the seller. And I think that's a really crucial thing to really touch on. It means something to us, and it's kind of an inside baseball term. Like to us, cash offer means, oh, it's going to be all of those benefits, but that may not be received, by your prospect or by your seller in the way
Yeah,
that it
exactly.
means to us.
Yeah, exactly, and they don't know what exactly is it the things
Mhm.
that you can bring to the table. So for me, I look at every text message, every email opportunity to present that
Mhm.
so one thing at a time. I don't overload a text or an email with, hey, this is what we can do, and you have 12 different things. I do it one at a time because we have so many. You have an unlimited amount of texts and emails that you can send.
Mhm.
So one at a time, we list off a benefit depending on the sequence that they're in. If it's a landlord or a vacant house or
Mhm.
owner occupant, things like that.
Yeah, I love that. And so tell me a little bit about what you guys do and how you help real estate investors.
Yeah. So if somebody is wants to juice up their follow up system,
Mhm.
we have semi custom type of framework that we work in, and so if somebody so we have different types of profiles or unique selling propositions. Every investor has a unique. It's not a proper way. It's not the proper term, but I'm just saying it here. Unique selling proposition where you have
Mhm.
something that you do better than another wholesaler. You
Sure.
might be a national wholesaler, you might be local, you might be an agent, and you might use that in your brand. All those things are beneficial to you. So
Mhm.
we will highlight those little things that you might do. And so we install, we have our hundreds and different, it's hundreds of emails, text messages, and we input them into your
Mhm.
CRM. And then we also, if there's any kind of automation or anything like that, we'll add that in.
Mhm.
um, but we'll add our scripts into it, our follow-up scripts, our call scripts into it. We
Mhm.
make sure the team knows how to use it. We load some real leads into the system, make sure everything's working properly.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, did I answer, was that your question, like our
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, I think so. And then, for somebody who's listening and saying, yeah, I definitely need to up my game. I need to do a better job communicating with sellers, right? Because I want that response rate to be better, right? Because we're spending all of this money to get these leads. We want to squeeze all of the juice out of it. But then I guess the next question, Paul, would be someone like, oh, I can just use ChatGPT for that. No problem. I don't need to pay anybody else.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, somebody can use ChatGPT if they want.
Mhm.
I think I think what they're going to find though, is the implementation of it. So, like, you can ask ChatGPT what to say, but you're really at the whims of the averages. ChatGPT just scrapes from the averages. I
Yeah.
don't. So you're at the whims of, and then a lot of times it's going to be the type of direct. If you ask it to write that at text messages, emails, it's going to be the type of direct response stuff
Mhm.
that's scraping online, which
Yeah.
is very, if anybody knows what direct response is,
Mhm.
it's very, kind of quote spammy looking. It's
Yeah.
hey, reply now to get your offer type of thing, which nobody really talks like
Yeah.
that.
It would have been great in the 80s, maybe the early 90s, but now I think we're past all of that.
Yeah. So, and then there's the implementation. I mean, we have hundreds. So, I'm a fan of Chat. I use it for different purposes, but if you try to have it upload or all in one shot create a
Mhm.
hundred different emails, it's going to deviate from your instructions.
Yes.
And so you have to do it you have to do it like small batches, take very small chunks
Mhm.
of it. So
Yeah.
it's time consuming. So you're either a CEO doing it, trying to be a chat prompter
Mhm.
yourself, or hoping that somebody on your team can do it correctly.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, even the numbers of people who do go to ChatGPT, I think in our industry might be a little higher than, across the board. And that's great. That's an okay first step. At least you recognize that there's a problem. But then, the fall off there is really steep, right? I don't think most people understand how to look at what they're doing, ask those follow-up questions and kind of tweak it to get the best out of it. And then, like you said, if I ask ChatGPT to write me 100 emails, the first and the 100th email could be like in completely different industries. Like it's going to drift so much. So I think there's definitely a lot of upside to having somebody like you who's professional can come in and really tweak these things and make them right.
Because if you want to get the most out of it, it's
Mhm.
not sending one type of message. So we have humor
Yeah,
messages, we have consumer
yeah.
reporting, we have story-based emails,
Mhm.
we have quick reply type text messages, things like that, things that
Mhm.
bring them back into your website. We have a number
Yeah.
of articles for probate, except so it's pretty intensive how
Mhm.
deep you want to get into the follow. I mean, if you're brand new, I would say, this is if you're brand new, I think that was um, that was one of your questions, but
Mhm.
I would say probably if you're brand new, the number one thing you should probably be doing if it comes to follow up is getting to your lead faster than the other guy, and also
Mhm.
getting your offer out there faster than the other guy. So that's
Yeah.
probably the two number one if you're brand new, right? And then worry about follow up later once you start having some deals. Like a robust follow up system once you have deals.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's sort of the gist. My answer to
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a time where it's too early to start to build these systems. Whether you've got 100 leads or 100,000. Again, we spend a lot of money for these leads, and we want to make sure, one, we're cultivating them, we're getting everything out of them, but yeah, that we're separating ourselves and offering something worthwhile to these sellers, because we are, I love where you talked about offering information and value driven stuff, because we're in that trust economy where people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if it just feels like you're sending them the same message over and over again, that's not going to work.
The other tip for somebody who's brand new, since you mentioned it, is I would try to get reviews as fast as possible, right?
Mm,
So real reviews, right? So a big we have an automation and a process for getting reviews.
mhm,
Automation at the least. I mean, you should be doing it manually, and we set tasks and stuff for the team
mm,
to get manual reviews.
yeah,
But get them as fast as possible if you're brand new. Make
mm,
that a goal. Like that should be your second sale
yeah,
after. So that's how I look at it. Second, after the deal's done, there's still another sale to be made, which is getting a referral and getting a review and getting a referral as well. So
yeah.
putting that in your process.
Yeah, I can tell you, I for one definitely neglected that for a long, long time. And I've got a friend here in my town in Chattanooga who's absolutely the best. Like, he literally goes to every single closing, gets a video or a picture, and he posts it constantly, and that's why his business has grown so much. So, Paul, let me ask you, I think everybody can agree at this point that follow up is the key, right? We say that the riches are in the follow up. Are there some, like, is there AI or some CRMs where we can take what you can provide for us and kind of merge those two things together to sort of automate this stuff? Is there anything that you recommend for people?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the CRMs can. I mean,
Mhm.
I've been in like 25 different CRMs, so I don't want to start name dropping stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to, we can. But there are some that are better for
Mhm.
automation. I mean, each CRM is very different in terms of
Yeah.
their goals, right? Some want to be are very team driven
Mhm.
CRMs, really work well with teams. Others not so much, some really solo based, but they have great automation in place.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for good automated follow up, uh, I would I would I would see this criteria right here. See if you can get speed to lead, meaning like if somebody fills out a form or if a call is or phone calls called,
Mhm.
um, it activates something, and it can activate a quick response, right?
Yeah.
Speed to lead is crucial, especially with AI. I mean, like AI calling is getting pretty big now.
Mhm.
AI, like quick response AI calling.
Yeah.
So the bar is going to be raised in like a year from now, where everybody's going to have that. Okay, so you
Mhm.
need to be having speed to lead activated right now.
Gotcha.
Um, and then two is the ability to do auto text, auto emails. That's given, right? Tasks, notifications, because like I want to make sure my team knows to make a call, right, and to follow my
Mhm.
script. We do input scripts into it or frameworks into
Wow.
code. Yeah, because the whole goal for follow up is okay. I remove the sales hat from the salesperson, and now we put on the marketing hat and let it do its thing. I don't want the sales team to be tired of chasing leads, and that's number one. Like I was tired of chasing leads when I was in AM for my own business, and so I want to move a lead that's ghosting us, not ready yet, over to the automation machine and let it do
Mhm.
its thing. That's and having prop, and we can go on
Yeah.
forever. So
I love that. Guys, if you're watching this and you're already, this is already making you rethink how you do your follow up, drop copy in the comments and I'll make sure that we get you a link to Paul's website. Or actually, I may just post it right here just to make sure that everybody get there. It is. Look at that. Our team is on it today. So cool. So I love that, Paul, that you guys can do this for people, because I feel like as a wholesaler, I'm trying to do so many things and juggle so many balls, and I'm trying to scale up, that you guys can come in and help, and that you can implement this into literally pretty much any CRM, or certainly all of the big ones, right? That's something you guys can do to help and get this set up.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, any CRM really. I mean, I think there's only
Mhm.
one CRM that was really difficult to work in. We're just like, this isn't, this has nothing in
Mhm.
it for us to do. So, yeah.
There's some that are bad. There, honestly, I think there are too many CRMs out there, but we know there are some good ones. But yeah, so that's something that you can do for us, because like, if somebody knows that they need this, man, I just wanna send you my credit card and just get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's completely done for you.
Mhm.
It's like I said, semi-custom. It's my copy. It's
Yeah.
my frameworks. We install it for you and make sure
Mhm.
everything works and that your team knows how to use it. And most importantly, okay, so that
Mhm.
the team is using. I want to make sure teams are using it, and that if your CRM can do it, we're
Mhm.
measuring it on the back end too. So if your CRM allows us to do tags or whatever it is, we want to make sure we're measuring it, because I
Mhm.
like to capture results. After all, I'm hitting people up to make sure there's results being happening. So
Nice. Before, 'cause I know I've had you on here for a bit, but like, just kinda, can you give us an example of somebody where, they were struggling, they came to you, and you and your team were able to come in there and implement this stuff, and kinda what kind of results did it show?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, my website has a bunch of video reviews from
Oh,
my
okay.
clients. Yeah. So I mean, actual real reviews, but
Mhm.
first one I can think of is probably the quickest result, and I always bring this one up because I mean, it's not. I'm not saying this is going to happen to everybody, but he's an implementer, and so within 2 weeks of us inputting the all the content, they grabbed a $60,000 deal from a deal they thought they lost, that they would
Wow.
have. He said it would have gone wayside and they would have forgotten about it. And an email brought them back. I think it was an email brought them back to the fold. They responded and they quickly got the contract the next day. So so yeah, that's one example. There's a lot of
Mhm.
examples of people
Sure.
adding a few more contracts per month, or
Mhm.
or 30% of the deal flow coming from it, things like
Yeah.
that.
I think that's absolutely crucial. Because as business owners, and we're running these things, and we're out here hustling our asses off, that it's so easy to forget something. So having something like what you guys provide with that, just really just killer copywriting, and then you implement that into your CRM. You can just stay front of mind with people and not feel like just some cheesy AI bot. All right, Paul, final question. If you had to build a follow-up system from scratch with no CRM, no team, nothing, just you and a list of leads, what's the first message you would send to those people?
It would be a warm intro email, like a
Mhm.
brand new lead,
Yeah.
definitely a warm intro email.
Mhm.
And to know why they're getting a message from me and
Mhm.
how they got here. That's number one, breaking that barrier.
Yeah.
And then follow up with a quick goal of getting them to take action. That
Yeah.
action could be clicking on my calendar link or clicking
Mhm.
on an article, or ask just if you don't have any of that, asking to move to the next step, next goal, asking a simple question.
Mhm.
What are you looking to get for the house or whatever it
Yeah.
is?
Love that. I always talk about that. That's so important, no matter where you're at in your businesses, telling people what the next step is, because they're busy. I say people are dopey, but they're just busy and they have a lot of inputs coming. And sometimes they're like, oh, that sounds interesting. But if you don't tell them what the next step is, they don't get there. So um always love having an expert, copywriter and marketer on. I always love these kinds of conversations. So guys, if you've got your leads just ghosting you, or you're kind of just stuck sending the same old just emails and texts, go find Paul. We'll drop his Facebook link here. Yeah, there's his contact info. Connect with him, and he can help you fix your follow-up. This is the stuff that closes deals. So Paul, this has been absolutely killer. Again, guys, for anybody who wants to implement this into your business, click that link, jump over, and see what other people have said. Paul is literally the guy behind so many of the biggest investors in the country, absolutely crushing it. Copywriting matters. Like, that's the thing I want to leave you guys with here, and make sure that you're getting your follow-up done.